Hello and welcome back to another Football Manager experiment with me, DJam FM. I hope you're all doing really well. Today's experiment, as you'll be able to see from the screen in front of you and from the title of the video, is that Stephen NAISMITH, who is pretty much on the verge of joining Norwich, he's undergoing his medical at the moment, and for Norwich fans out there who are absolutely desperate for a striker, this is good news for them. Stephen NAISMITH himself doesn't always play as the main striker, but he's someone who can add something to our attacking sort of goal threat. And when I say our, I mean the purely reason because I am a Norwich City fan myself. I didn't know if I've ever mentioned it in any of my previous videos or not, but yes, I am a Norwich fan, so please don't hate me too much for that. What we're going to be doing now is seeing how Stephen NAISMITH performs for Norwich over the next 2, maybe 3 seasons, depending on whether or not Stephen NAISMITH himself actually moves on from Norwich. You'll be able to see here that from his history, he does spend quite a lot of time at one particular club. So I'm not really overly concerned that he's going to move on from Norwich. The only concern that I do have is that if they do get relegated, then there's the potential that he might not want to stick around and play football in the Championship. As I said, he is someone who doesn't always play as the main striker. So it'll be very interesting to see this season whether or not he's going to be playing behind the striker, as they do have Wes Hoolahan there who can play that role already, or whether or not he's going to be played up top and used as a striker. They've got some good options in terms of on Football Manager. The stats for some of the players that Norwich have are a bit over the top, but as I said, it'll be very interesting to see where Stephen NAISMITH plays. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video at this point and progress one season, see how he gets on, see whether or not Norwich can stay in the Premier League, and we'll take it season by season. So I'll see you guys in a few seconds. So we are at the end of the first season for Stephen NAISMITH at Norwich. You'll be able to see that his value has slightly gone down from 8 million down to 6.75. He's still on the exact same contract. In terms of his stats, there hasn't been a huge change with those. But to be honest, at the age of 28, 29 years old, I wasn't expecting sort of miracles in terms of his stats to have altered. If we have a look at his actual personal achievements over the course of the season then, so it hasn't been a great year for him. He got a 6.6 average rating, only the 2 goals and 3 assists, which if you're a Norwich fan watching this, you're going to be quite disappointed with. Let's just see where he's been playing the majority of his football this season. Yeah, he's been playing in the attacking midfield role for them. So he's been playing, in replacement of Wes Hoolahan. Only the 2 games up front, which is quite disappointing. But as I said, with the possibility that obviously the likes of Mbakani are going to be going back out on loan, there could be a chance for Stephen NAISMITH to go up front potentially, but we'll have to look at that, in the course of like the second season that he's at the club. So if we actually look at Norwich to see how they did, so they have survived. They've finished in 16th place. Any Norwich fan watching this right now would quite gladly take that. Very interesting to see that the 3 teams that have gone down are Aston Villa, Bournemouth and Sunderland. Very interesting. As I said, I'd love to see whether or not that's an accurate reflection of the table at the end of the season. Will that persuade Stephen NAISMITH to potentially stay? Will he want to hang around much more? With the likes of Cameron Jerome on here, who is he's been put up for a transfer list. As I said, Mbakani's going to be going back. Hooper's out on loan at the moment, on loan at Bournemouth, so there's a potential that he's going to be going. Ricky Van Wolfswinkel is going to be coming back, so maybe he's going to be the main striker. Who knows? But as I said, there's a good opportunity for NAISMITH to move into that striker role now and really try and push on and get a few goals for the club. But as I said, we'll have to see how he and Norwich progress in the second season. So again, what I'll just do is pause the video, continue another year and see how he gets on. So we're back for the second season with Stephen NAISMITH at Norwich. He's now at the age of 30 years old. He's at 54 caps for Scotland with 11 goals in total. He's currently valued at 3.7 million, but he's earned now a massive contract, so he must have been doing, he hasn't been doing amazingly well. At the moment, he's currently injured for 4 to 5 months with cruciate ligament damage. Now, at the age of 30, that is a massive injury to get. Really, really disappointing for Steven Naismith. He's actually been doing, well, was doing okay. He was continuing to play pretty much every game for Norwich. 26 appearances in total with 5 goals, so a better return than last year, of a 6.65 average rating. He got injured in February, so he's been out for 3 months already, and he's got another 4 to 6 months to go on that. It's not the first time, according to this, that he's damaged his cruciate ligaments, where he's been out for quite a long time as well with that. So very, very similar injury. So as I said, it'll be very, very interesting to see whether or not he'll be able to recover and play much more for Norwich in the third season. With Norwich, they've finished bottom, so the second season in, unfortunately, they couldn't survive. Currently have Ronald Koeman in charge, which is interesting. Very, very interesting actually, because I think he's quite a decent manager. But unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to keep Norwich up. In terms of the goals that have been scored, other than Destro, which is a very good signing, there has 105 grand a week. 105 grand. Anyway, that's going completely off topic. Steven Naismith was actually the second top goal scorer, and I think that just about says it all for Norwich on this particular save. And obviously, as things stand at the moment, just not enough goals scored has been really, really disappointing. But as I said, there's a few players in here for the likes of, for example, Andy Carroll, which are going to have to step up now. He's on 51 grand a week. Norwich I would imagine Norwich have had some sort of big investment from somewhere. But yeah, he's their second top goal scorer, having missed the last 4 months of the season. So that is not good. As said, for Steven Naismith now, can he recover from his injury? Can he help Norwich get promoted back up to the Premier League after what has been a disappointing campaign? Again, going to pause it at this point. This will be the final season that we do with Steven Naismith at this particular point. It's not gone well so far, but can we end on a high? And can Norwich get themselves back promoted? So I'll see you guys in a few seconds. So we are at the end of the third season with Steven Naismith. I was about to say at Norwich, but as you'll be able to see from here, he has been sold on to Bordeaux. He has moved on. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, it doesn't look like he was able to ever really recover from the injury that he sustained there. In terms of how he did for Norwich whilst they were in the Championship, he got himself 3 goals in 11 appearances in total, got an average rating of 6.65, so didn't really set the world alight with Norwich. But having said that, he's now moved on to Bordeaux for a fee of just below £2.5 million and has done really, really well. You could argue that is the state of the French league, and he's playing against worse players, but he's got 14 goals in 16 games with 4 assists. So he's done far better at Bordeaux than he ever has done whilst he's been at Norwich. If we just have a look at how he's been playing, or the way he's been playing rather. So yeah, for Bordeaux, he's actually been playing as the striker, and you'll be able to see from that if he's played up top, he will score goals. If anybody's watching this and wants to pass on a message to Alex Neil, he scores goals if he's up top, not behind the striker. Right, as I said, 14 appearances for Norwich in the Championship. As I said, he helped them stay up in the first season. Unfortunately, got relegated in the second. Did they get promoted up to the Premier League this time around? Let's have a look. They did. So, although they've been relegated, they made an instant return back up to the Premier League. Ronald Koeman is still in charge, and they've now got Jordan Rhodes as their main striker. That's interesting. 53 grand a week. That's ridiculous. Colton Morris is one of the other main strikers as well. That would be interesting for a lot of Norwich fans to see that. Progressing quite nicely on this game actually, but yeah, Jordan Rhodes is now the main man at Norwich in terms of goal scoring. Yeah, as I said, that sort of really brings to close this series really, or this particular episode of Football Manager Experience. With Steven Naismith now going on to Bordeaux, there's not really a huge amount to kind of update you on. But as I said, Norwich fans, if you've enjoyed the episode, or if anybody else is watching the video and you've enjoyed it, please let me know. Obviously, all the details for me, as per normal, are in the description below. Follow me on Twitter. like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you are new. As I said, I plan on bringing a few more of these type of episodes as the transfer window progresses. I'm hoping there's going to be a few more deals than what has been done. As I said, if you've enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. Let me know some comments on Twitter as well. That'd be really, really appreciated. But until next time, adios.